It's May 22nd, 2026. Here are today's top stories. Let's dive in. Breaking news, Tulsi Gabbard has resigned as Director of National Intelligence effective June 30th, citing her husband's recent diagnosis with a rare form of bone cancer. But Reuters is now reporting, per a person familiar with the matter, that the White House actually forced her out, making the official explanation a lot harder to take at face value. Her deputy quit months ago in protest of Trump's Iran war, and Gabbard herself has spent years warning against exactly this kind of war in the Middle East before joining the administration. And speaking of that war, it is not going well. Iran has destroyed over 24 U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drones since the war began, representing nearly $1 billion in losses and roughly 20% of the Pentagon's entire pre-war fleet. Trump claimed this week that the U.S. controls the Strait of Hormuz. The IRGC Navy reported that 35 ships passed through it today under Iranian escort. And during nuclear negotiations in Geneva, European diplomats were stunned to find themselves explaining basic uranium enrichment concepts to the American team. Our negotiators did not understand the science behind the deal that they were trying to make. On the economy, U.S. consumer sentiment just hit its lowest point ever recorded in data going back to 1952. That's worse than the 1973 oil crisis, the dot-com crash, and the inflation shocks of the 1980s. Americans now expect inflation to hit at least 4.8% by year's end. Trump's response was to post, quote, "new stock market record" on Truth Social, right before conveniently leaking peace deal rumors that sent markets surging again. He then stood next to his new Fed chair and announced the stock market number, again pumping the market up. This man made over 3,700 stock trades in the first quarter alone. I think that's worth paying attention to. All charges against the Broadview Six have been dismissed after a federal judge found shocking grand jury misconduct by DOJ prosecutors, including kicking out jurors who disagreed with them and hiding it in redacted transcripts. This is the second major Trump DOJ prosecution to collapse this way, and it threatens to unravel every politically motivated case this administration has brought. NATO is fracturing. Secretary General Rutte acknowledged that Europe is dangerously over-reliant on the U.S., while Marco Rubio threatened to reassess the entire alliance because NATO allies would not support Trump's Iran war. In South Carolina, Republicans failed to fast-track a gerrymandering bill that would have locked in a 7-0 congressional map before early voting starts Tuesday. 6 of their own members voted against it. Trump's envoy to Greenland, Jeff Landry, came home after being booed in the streets there and basically admitted that the whole trip was just about seizing Greenland's oil. And Trump announced that he will not be attending Don Jr.'s wedding because of, quote, circumstances pertaining to the government. That's all for now. Spread the word, share this with everyone you know, and make sure you're listening to the MeidasTouch podcast for the full breakdown. We'll see you back here soon.